My name is not important for now. What is important is what I saw on TV before the broadcast was halted or something. These so-called alien overlords is not a new thing at all. I know it might not be the right time, but let me tell you a story. There once was this little town, very small and seemingly insignificant, but, well, it would soon be pretty significant, I guess. In this little, not very interesting town, there was this family, a lady and her 2 kids, a boy and a girl. The father hadn't left the family, he just worked elsewhere and gave them, cash to be able to handle life. Yeah. So this family, the son would soon have a very big adventure. Because there was this space rock that fell down in the middle of this little community, this little town, and it made all the it got all the attention from the news. Everybody was all like, oh, something from space has fallen down, that's epic, and oh, we have to go see it, and oh, it has to be studied, and blah 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 blah. Everybody was so up in gear about it. It was all there was to talk about for weeks. And even came this scientist from somewhere and studied the space rock, and well, so this boy wanted to, of course, see what it was all about with that space rock. I mean, why everybody was so up in gear and hyper and let's go see it. And he wanted to see it too. But his annoying neighbor was there first, and he was a kid that was all full of himself. Always like, I'm gonna tell you, the great me is gonna tell you what this rock business is about, so just go home and don't annoy anyone. Really irritating kid. I mean, the boy really tried to be friends with him, but in the end, being friends with someone who was that full of himself is just, well, blame the parents, I guess. There was this, I think the annoying kid had a brother, so but suddenly one evening he came running, the annoying one came running over to the other boy's house and knocked on the door, and in panic, because his brother was missing. Turned out that he wasn't, and he was just up at that rock. I think that's what happened anyways. That's what I've heard. It's a long time since. So these boys checked out the space rock, and it turned out it wasn't a rock at all. It was more like a spaceship or a time machine, something like that. Out came this creature that kind of looked like a bug but wasn't, and he told about a great danger, an evil creature who wanted to destroy all the worlds. Sound familiar? Pretty much the situation where now something drops out from space. Everybody's all hyper and, oh, look at that, it's probably this and that. Then suddenly this thing turns up and wants to rule everything. And that's exactly what he said that creature did in the world he was from, that it ruled everything. He also told the children that they had to go find different things, find a way to go back in time and defeat the creature while it was at its most vulnerable. I mean, I've heard plenty of people say that that was a cruel course of action, that it would practically make the evil creature just a baby. Sometimes, I guess, you really can't look through and just forgive a creature just because it's a child at that moment. I figured out soon. After all, I was just a kid back then too. Well, so this time traveler, I guess, ended up getting crushed by the annoying kid's mother. She thought it was just some bug too. She killed him. And here we just met him. So, the only one willing to travel the places was the boy. In the end, it turned out that what they needed to defeat it was to have the entire planet hoping for this creature to be destroyed. I always seen the moral of it as, I guess, we from Earth can do whatever we want as long as we stick together. Black screen there for a second. as long as we stick together against those who wish to control us. So let me tell you this, Mr. Overlord Alien. I've met your type before. And let me tell you something. This is probably gonna be a bit embarrassing for you, since Gygus was pretty much a child when I killed him. I've seen your type. I never came back to my friends. I've been traveling around ever since. I've even met different versions of myself. Even versions who never discovered all this. Let me tell you something. Gygus might have been a baby back then, but you won't even be half the challenge he is. So I suggest you find yourself a little space rock to live on and get away from Earth before I gather a team and come for you. Even if I have to do it alone, you won't be the one that wins.